Come on, everybody.
Come on, get happy.
Ladies and gentlemen, from KZOK 102.5 FM, Mr. Danny Bonaducci from the Partridge Family and his co-host Sarah. Give it up for Danny! And give it up for Sarah!
I'm Danny from KZOK. This is my partner in the morning, Sarah.
I can't believe you ran up here.
What?
I can't believe you ran up here.
Well,
I didn't want to jiggle.
Well, I started doing show business before you were born, and by the way, some of us would have preferred if you jiggled. But if they go, Danny Bonaducci, and you're still back there, people go, oh, he's in jail again, it's not good.
Good point.
So, I'm in fact Danny Bonaducci. This is Sarah Winnie Mornings on KZOK 102.5, and it is our privilege and honor to be up here tonight. Someone I am personally a bond with. My television brother and the person we are going to interview tonight have both been kicked off Celebrity Apprentice. I, for one, am still bitter at Donald Trump, and we'll see if our next guest is here. Ladies and gentlemen, George Takei. George?
I am spent.
You know, I have covered a couple of Comic-Cons in my day, and when I see people running around, especially a guy in your position, because, to be honest, I mean, it might exist without you, but it isn't what it is without somebody from Star Trek, and George Takei is, in fact, Star Trek to a lot of people. Would you agree?
Saying that, and thank you for that applause, but you know, I wouldn't be George Takei without all of you. It's your dedication to the show and to all the various generations of Star Trek that's made Star Trek into this incredible 46-year-old phenomenon. So thank you all for all your support and undying love.
Let me just say this, without you, I'd be talking to myself. So now welcome. Now, George, and correct me if I'm wrong, we're going to open up the floor to questions. So I'm a bit nervous. It's been a long time since I've been nervous. But you put a microphone in my hand, I'm comfortable.
Yes.
But here's what I want to make sure you know. I'm a huge fan of yours, and I want to make sure not to use up any of the questions that these lovely young people might have for you. But you have been in sci-fi, much like the country song I was into country before country was cool. You were into sci-fi decades before Star Trek, were you not?
Well, to be frank, I read that people like Ray Bradbury,
sure,
but I wouldn't say I was into sci-fi.
Then who was it that dubbed the voices in the 50s in Rodan? Yes, score one for Bonaducci right there.
Yes, I did do the English dubbing on this Japanese movie, Rodan. And then there was another one that...
Big that Rodan, you guys. I mean, talk about your Comic-Con. This is Captain Kirk with a twinkle in his mother's eye.
And another movie, Japanese sci-fi movie that I dubbed into English, they later called Godzilla. So, in that sense, I was involved with sci-fi back then.
Now, did you actually translate from Japanese into English, or just dub?
I did not do the translating. We had writers who did the translating, and we did the dubbing. However, some of the translations that the writers gave us didn't work. It wouldn't fit the lip movement.
Well, can I tell you the truth? That has not changed.
No.
I think it makes it sound a great deal, and it makes it sound a little closer than we actually are. But I'm relatively good friends with Jackie Chan. This is now 2012, and I'll still see Jackie's movies, and I'll see better than our Kung Fu. So they haven't really tracked up with that kind of dubbing, but now it's 2012. Did you ever suspect that you would still be adored by these, I mean, legions of fans. If I'm not mistaken, you have 1.3 million friends on Facebook?
Believe it or not, I still don't believe it. It's amazing. But you know, when I first started with the pilot of Star Trek, we knew we had a quality show. The writing was all there. The ideas were all there. And I was chatting with Jimmy Doohan, and I said, I smell quality with this show. It is going to be a show that we're going to be proud of.
Jimmy Doohan would play Scotty.
Jimmy Doohan. But then I added on, I don't think we'll last too long. Good shows don't last on television.
Which would explain why the Partridge Family was on longer than Star Trek.
Yes.
Good shows don't last that long. But it was a brilliant show. Let me ask that, and I think we should turn it right over to the audience. For 46 years of success, wouldn't you think mathematically you would have had to have bigger success? I mean, Star Trek by today's standards, forget the audience members because there's so many channels, but by today's standards, Star Trek was not a hit.
No, it wasn't. At the beginning of each episode, we announced that we were boldly going on a 5-year mission. Well, we met Klingons, we met Andorians, all sorts of adversaries, but we didn't think that those adversaries would overcome us. What we didn't know was that we had adversaries called NBC programming executives. They aborted us after 3 seasons.
And so it did run 3 seasons. Can you imagine? We're all here 46 years later for a show I would think most of us could probably still do dialogue from. And it was only on 3 seasons. We could quote the show, and most of us a little bit better than Shatner. That's just a personal opinion.